Hello Algebra 2 people, this is Mr. Hotard. This is the second half of the video on solving systems of equations, nonlinear equations, using substitution. Alright, so we've been looking at what happens when you have a line and a parabola. Alright, basically a linear equation and a quadratic equation. Now, something we need to review from geometry, and I say review, but actually you may not have been taught this because this was the last quarter of geometry, but equation of a circle. Any circle with a center at the origin at 0, 0 can be written with this equation. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. Now what does r stand for in a circle? R is the radius. Alright, that's the distance from the center of the circle to, well, radius, I can spell, R-A-D-I-U-S, from the center of the circle to the outside of the circle. Okay, so basically we're looking at what happens if you have a line crossing through the circle. Where are those points? The work you're doing for these is going to be very similar. There's just one slight difference. So if we look at example 3 right here, using substitution, I already have y by itself. So I can just take this negative 3x plus 10 and substitute it in place of this y. Alright, so that's now going to say x squared plus this in parentheses, negative 3x plus 10 squared equal to 10. Now, here's the part where people tend to mess up. Negative 3x plus 10. That is not negative 3x squared and 10 squared. Negative 3x plus 10 squared is negative 3x plus 10 times negative 3x plus 10. This is x squared plus negative 3x plus 10 times itself, equal to 10. Alright, so I'm going to have to multiply each of these terms by each of these terms. Basically FOIL, if you remember FOIL. So leave that x squared alone. Negative 3x times negative 3x, that's plus what? 9x squared. And then negative 3x times 10, going to be minus 30x. 10 times negative 3x, going to be another minus 30x. And then, what else? 10 times 10 is going to be plus 100, equal to 10. Now that's a big mess, but we can combine like terms. All right, make it a lot easier. X squared plus 9x squared going to be 10x squared. We have negative 30x and negative 30x going to give us negative 60x. Also, remember we want to get it equal to 0. So let's go ahead and subtract that 10. So that's going to become plus 90 equal to 0. And I want to try to use factoring to solve this. Remember, what's the first thing you look for when you're factoring? Greatest common factor. You can divide all these by what? By 10. Let's do that first. Just divide the whole problem by 10, make that x squared minus 6x plus 9 equal to 0. And now I want to try to factor this. I want to find numbers that multiply to give me positive 9 and add to give me negative 6. So that's going to be negative 3 and then negative 3 again. So x minus 3, or you could say x minus 3 squared. So I only get one answer to this. I just get x equals 3. That's the x number. Now how do you find the y number? You go back and plug that 3 in for the x. So y equals negative 3 times 3 plus 10. I'm just plugging it into that second equation. So y is going to equal negative 9 plus 10, which is positive 1. So my answer to this, I only have one answer. That line's going to touch the circle at the point 3, 1. Okay, so now I want you to take a moment, pause the video, and try these other two examples. Did you do it? Of course you did. So let's check your work now. You're plugging in negative x plus 4 here into that y in parentheses, and you're going to square it. So your work's going to look like this. You're going to do negative x plus 4 squared, which is negative x plus 4 times negative x plus 4. So you're going to get x squared plus negative x times negative x is plus x squared. That's going to be minus 4x, then minus another 4x, then 4 times 4 is going to be plus 16, equal to 16. Now I want to get it equal to 0, so you can go ahead and subtract that 16, and it cancels the 16 out on both sides. And you can combine like terms. So 2x squared minus 8x equals 0. Now once you got it to this point, 2x squared minus 8x equals 0, remember what's the first thing you look for when you're factoring? GCF. What can you divide out of this? It's not just 2, it's 2x. You can divide out 2x, and that's going to leave you with x minus 4. So you're going to get two answers. One of them is going to be 4. And what's the other answer when you have x in your GCF? It's 0. X equals 0, x equals 4. So then you plug those in it's easiest to use the small equation. Y equals negative 0 plus 4, you get 0, 4. And y equals, you plug in 4. So negative 4 plus 4 gives you 0. So the answers are 0, 4, and 4, 0. And then similar problem here with example 5. Plug in that x plus 4 in place of y. X plus 4 squared, so x plus 4 times x plus 4. I bring that x squared down. I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 16 equals 4. Combine your like terms and get it equal to 0. Subtract that 4. So I have 2x squared plus 8x plus 12 equal to 0. So once you have it here, all right, now I can simplify that a little bit. What can I do with all those numbers? Divide it by 2. All right, that's going to leave me with x squared plus 4x plus 6. Now I want to try to factor that, and you may have got stuck right here, because are there any numbers that multiply to give you 6 and add to give you 4? No, they're not. All right, so this is one where you have to use quadratic formula. When you plug it in, negative b, so negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 6 all over 2 times 1. And work out what's inside. 4 squared is going to be 16. Negative 4 times 1 times 6, negative 24. All over 2 times 1, which is 2. And what's 16 minus 24? Negative 8. So I'm getting this. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of negative 8 all over 2. Negative under the square root. What's that mean again? It means you have I in the answer. And we're looking for where these graphs touch each other. So that's no real solution. These graphs are not going to touch each other. Once you get a negative under the square root, you're done. All right, I hope that was helpful. This is Mr. Hotard signing out.